Now joining us to talk more about ballot counting is Neil Albrecht.
So Neil, you've been involved in these counting processing, the process, the canvassing. How close can a campaign get, and does 100 feet away feel like the right distance?
Well, it's distressing to hear about that decision because I think over and over again, election workers have had to place themselves at risk during this pandemic, and certainly have been willing to do that to support democracy. I'm sure that Wisconsin will promulgate their own rules around observer distance. And my hope is that those rules put the safety of election workers and certainly the observers too first and foremost.
And it's important as you speak about safety. I know when we were at Central Count just on election night, and we saw many of the observers milling around as well as sitting pretty close to those election workers who were counting the ballots.
Right. I mean, I think clerks are dedicated to allowing as much transparency as possible. That's a key function of administering an election. But again, we can't lose sight of safety and risk when it comes to the pandemic. And I know that there are, a lot of very impassioned views about what's happening right now and where states will land in terms of a political outcome. But again, we just need to be conscious of this period of time.
Neil, if we do end up in a recount, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, is it the first time, though, that we've actually used video cameras to show the observation of the ballots being counted this year?
It was in the city of Milwaukee, certainly. During my tenure, we had not previously established video cameras, plus observers from all the political parties and probably the candidates were in the room as well. So there was absolutely nothing that wasn't transparent about the process to start with.
You say political parties were in the room. If we end up in a recount, does it change a little bit in terms of, remember that in the 2000, where we saw people talking about the hanging Chad, there was a Republican right next door, a Democrat right next to that person, and does it become more one-on-one if there is a recount?
Yeah, how things are negotiated and how things are completed are really, it's a process that will be unlike any previous recount. In that 2016 presidential election, we actually used the city of Milwaukee Municipal Warehouse to do that recount, and people were pressed into a very small space, but it was efficient. Now the county will have to find a facility that is considerably larger and can accommodate getting this done, but also ensuring the opportunity for social distancing and safety.
Neil Albrecht, we thank you very much for being with us again today.